Morning, everybody. How's everybody today? When I was setting up, I was looking at the stuff behind me here, and I was like, I look like I'm in a fishbowl. Welcome to webcams, right? Anyway, we are going to spin a Shave 'em to Save 'em breed of sheep for the Passport program. This is going to be the third one that I have worked on this week. The Spin Together is running Saturday, last Saturday noon, to the next Saturday noon, and it's just to see how much yarn you can spin. So I decided to focus on 5 different Shave 'em to Save 'em breeds from the Passport. I got Hog Island done, which I spun on the live stream on Saturday afternoon, and then, or Saturday morning, I forget which, but anyway, it's labeled with Hog Island so that you can tell. And then the Sunday spinning, I was working on Shetland, and that's still a project going on. I'm not done with that yet. And today we're going to start the third one, which is Cotswold. And this was my favorite. I have really been waiting and anxious to spin this. This is what it looks like. It is, there's a picture of the sheep. See the sheep? Oh, I love that picture. His little dreadlocks. Anyway, it's a lovely gray color. It's almost got a silvery cast to it. It's real slick and shiny, feeling like a long wool, and it's so soft. I'm pretty sure it's going to be fuzzy when it gets spun. But the thing about the provider of this yarn, this fiber, and their fiber in general is they use a mill that has put the fiber into a format I have never seen before, and that is a center pole format, just like this. Now that's wonderful if you're going to, and this is the outside coming in the way there. Isn't that neat? Now that's wonderful if you're going to do the whole thing at one sitting on one bobbin. But I don't do it that way because I make 2-ply, and that means I need to go ahead and divide this up into 2-ounce bumps so that I have 2 ounce for the one bobbin and 2 ounce for the other. So that's what I'm going to do this morning, but I wanted to show you the center pole part of it before I got going and did that. So I'm just going to pull this out, and you probably won't be able to see this. Oh, no, you won't be able to see it at all because I'm not on that. Let me get it off of my face here and over here. And let me put this down here, and then I think you can see it. Prop my foot up there. Now, if this was a teaching live stream, I would have gone to the trouble of looking up the breed and giving you the breed information. And I did do that for Hog Island, but this is a pretty well-known common. I mean, it's still considered a rare breed. And in fact, let me look on here and see what level they consider it. It is threatened. Okay, the Cotswold, according to the Passport, is in the threatened. I know it, and I'm familiar with it, but that doesn't mean that a lot of people are raising the sheep. I adore this color. Really, really pretty. This fiber came from a breeder whose website is AZ Tunis, Tunis. AZ Tunis. Raises sheep, but also buys local fleeces from other breeders and tends to focus a lot on the Passport program and the rare breeds, as well as other stuff. All right, let me see how much I got here in this. I have my scale over here. Looks like that's 1.3. So we got a while to go. And this is going to be eyeballing because I never get my bobbins even. I'm always ending up doing the last of, one bobbin's empty and I've got leftover on the second bobbin, and I just wind it on my hand and two-ply it from there. The requirement for the passport program is 4 ounces, which is why I have this is 4 ounces here. And that's why I have the 2-ounce goal. Seems like it should be half. Yep. I got it there. Let me take a little bit off. Perfect. So whether that's exact or not, at least. And I can go ahead and try spinning out of the thing here, out of the pole, since this is the other half. So let me get my camera more on my Roberta. There should not be anything special about spinning this fiber. It should just be a nice worsted spin. I'm not going for a bulky yarn. I would like to get as much yardage out of it as I can. I have no idea, but I know that it's soft enough to make next to the skin something to wear. So I want to get as much yardage as I can out of it. So let's see how this goes here. I have a high pull in because I was plying before that. Going a pretty slow speed. I don't know how much. Maybe I need to move my mic away from the Roberta a little bit, if I can. Roberta doesn't sound real loud to me, but I have listened to past podcasts where, I say podcasts, live streams where I noticed that it is kind of noisy. Especially if I get a bobbin that's rattling, which will happen. Like I said, that didn't take long to get right into just a very short drafting area, pinch and pull. Looks like it's pretty nice and clean. No vegetable matter really, no shortcuts at all. The staple length feels pretty long. Won't have any idea for sure because once it's processed like this, can't really tell a true measurement of the lock staple length. But spinning super fine. Now there is one problem with spinning this thin. I may lose some of the softness. That's something that happens when you spin worsted. You coil those fibers tightly around each other, the little ends poke out, and they are more prickly than they are fuzzy and soft. So that's a possibility that will happen. I think 90% of the time I'm not even interested in what kind of yarn I get. I just want to spin the fiber. I love the way the fiber feels in my fingers. I love seeing the visual of whatever the fiber is colored. I love seeing the yarn wind on to the bobbin. And I have to admit, with the live streaming, it's become really fun because I can actually watch the screen. I can watch on my computer as it fills up the bobbin. This spin together used to be called Spinzilla, and there I am on a team and I'm doing the team communication through Ravelry, but um, it it goes by so fast. It's not like the Tour de Fleece where you have 3 weeks and you can get away with not spinning every day. When you do this and it runs 7 days, Saturday through Saturday, it goes by so quickly. And I feel like I gauged the right amount to, to try and do this time, with the 5 fibers, all being around 4 ounces. The Shetland was a little over 5. I'm going to wrap this on here a minute. I am getting the outside twisted up into what I'm pulling out of the inside. So that's not good. That's just like yarn happens with yarn. Let's see if I can do this. And tuck it better. Also, I'm not sure how long the label's going to want to stay on there. So, see the twist here? Maybe not the best way to spin out of the pole out, but it sure seems like it. I'm going to start again. Break this. Straighten this out. Alright, here we go. Now I got a thick area here. Let me thin that out a little bit, because the twist had run into it and it's not happy about that. And not the best joint in the world, but it's alright. So the goal is to spin all 4 ounces today. I will not get that done in the hour that I plan to live stream here. I probably won't even get the entire 2 ounces spun. Just depends. It's going very quickly. So when I did the Hog Island, it was not going quickly, and that one took me longer than it normally does. And when I was saying that, I thought maybe what I chose to do over this week with the 4 ounces of each breed was probably achievable. I was basing it on fiber that is well processed and will spin nicely and quickly. When I was buying this fiber, I was buying it for the passport, so I only needed the 4 ounces. And the breeder says, this is wonderful fiber. And I believed her, but I was buying a whole bunch of different breeds. And therefore, my fiber budget was being taken up by a lot, and I didn't buy more. Now I'm like, oh man, I really wish I had bought 4 of these so that I would have had a pound and maybe make a vest or something out of it. It would be a beautiful vest. This is spoiling me. I am spinning all the breeds that are really pretty nice. The Hog Island turned out to be much, much better than I thought it would be. It's soft, it's bouncy, and other than the fact it's white, and I probably should dye it if I want to make something out of it, like a hat and scarf set, or mittens and hat, or whatever. It's really nice breed. So that was a surprise, and I was very happy about that. The passport also includes the rare breeds that are not traditionally used for spinning fibers, and they're things like Navajo churro, which we associate with rug making and that sort of thing. So there are going to be those fibers also that I will have to find something to do. Now, all I'm required to do is take it from the fiber to the next step, whatever that next step is for me. And the next step for me is spinning it. Some people will felt it. So some people buy the yarn and knit it. I don't have to knit it, I only have to spin it. But I'll have all this yarn. I'll need something to do with it eventually. That's the whole thing about spinning. You make yarn, and then you got to do something with the yarn. All right, come on out of there. As soon as I let go of this, that twist really runs down into the fiber supply. On the other hand, to test it here, if I let it go back on itself, the twist, that's interesting. See, the twist is all right down here by my fingers. It isn't going back on it. It's balanced. I mean, it's not twisted there. That twist is running down that whole thing. I know that many people cannot catch me at this time of the day. They're working, and I understand that, and I'm not worried about that. I am doing these for people to catch them later when they have time on the video on demand. It will stay on Twitch for at least a month and probably longer. So be sure to catch it. Don't wait too long. But if you do happen to watch this one, make sure you watch the other ones because they don't stay there forever. I tend to think of them as teaching videos. I tend to think of when I live stream on Sunday as a social video where we chat more and I am just spinning and chilling and relaxing. Oh, well, hello, Daddy Croon. You're lurking. That's okay. I really appreciate that you do that. I didn't get to catch you much this week, but I plan to. I miss playing Stream Raiders. I miss seeing what you're working on. What you making today? Oh, yeah, right. You don't stream on Monday and Tuesdays. I thought you were going to say you were streaming then, and I was like, no, you're here. I'll catch you. This is unusual. I don't usually stream this much. I'm doing something special for the week. As a team member, I'm spinning yarn. So I'm going to stream tomorrow and Thursday. And that'll be it. That's more than I usually do. See, you have prepping. I have lots of prepping to do. If I don't buy it all ready to spin, I have lots of things I have to do to it. Same way. You don't like the pounding noise? Is that it? Or it's just too much, too tedious, too many? I don't know. Punching holes is a little better um, than watching paint dry. See, I saw that on your. I still laugh at that. We're watching paint dry. I don't watch just to play Stream Raiders. See, I watch for watching you. Since I'm Well, hello, Rosaroo. How are you? Yes, okay. I understand. The Ravelry is it's on Ravelry, but no, it is not hosted by Ravelry like Tour de Fleece. It is a totally separate. They have their own website, Spin Together, and it is on Ravelry because the teams use Ravelry to chat. But the website that you sign up for, and you can't sign up anymore. It'll be over this coming Saturday. The website is spintogether.org. It's always the first week in September, so if you keep a calendar or kind of, a tickler file or whatever, you could write it down so that sometime in September you start watching for it. And they do have a Ravelry group. That's where you would find out if you're on Ravelry that they're starting up. You can sign up. This is the only spinning event that does have a $15 fee. And that's American, of course. And they're very upfront about the fact that that money is used for paying the people who do the work through the year of keeping the organization going and everything. And they have prizes, so they're contacting people for prizes and stuff like that. They're taking care of the logistics of it, and they're upfront about that's where the $15 goes. I hope you have a good day at work. Don't get in trouble. Thanks for saying hello, though. I'm glad to see you. I don't think Cotswold, all Cotswold is as nice as this. I think this just happened to be a sheep that had a really nice coat. Cotswold to me is kind of like a meat breed, and it's like the Cheviot where the wool is usable. Usually doesn't felt, but is not that you can absolutely throw it in the washer and dryer like superwash, but it's a pretty sturdy wool as far as washable. This is finer fleece. It might not really have that washable characteristics to it. Every sheep is different. Every fleece is different. It's what has kept me spinning for almost 40 some years. I never get bored with it. Daddy Croon, the Pretzel Rock, says they're playing Viking guitar. What do you think of that? Viking guitar. I can't hear it very well. Must be pretty quiet. I'm not sure it even has a guitar in it. Let's turn that up a little bit and see what it sounds like. I apologize. The name of the song is Nebula. The group is Viking Guitar. Sorry. Wrong credit there. Pretzel Rock, the music that I'm using, has a beta out, and I tried it on Sunday, and they have lots more channels, lots more music, and it's much better. And right now, for the free version, they're not putting the little promos and listing of the titles in the chat, although I'm sure that'll come back. But when I went to replay, Twitch said that they were muting some of it. I think they took a look at the fact that there was no stream nothing in the chat, and I don't know. They didn't really mute anything. They put a thing up saying they would, but nothing really that I could find was muted. I was still talking, so I wasn't too worried about it. I don't know if it was from Pretzel Rock or something else they saw. It's hard telling with Twitch. yarn is fuzzy. I can see in this single it's going to have a halo to it, even after you knit with it. Oh, that's okay. You just listen here and I'll tell you all about it. I was talking about it at the beginning, not a problem. The spin together goal in general is to keep track and see how much yarn you can spin in the 7 days. So it runs from Saturday noon to a Saturday noon. And they have a special way of counting your yardage because they have the theory that once through the orifice is what you want to count. Hold on, I'm going to turn the music down a little bit. I feel like I'm shouting. So, if you have a 2-ply, you have a 3 times through the orifice. So that's, one time to make a single, one time to make a single, and one time when you ply. So if you spin 100 yards of a 2-ply, you have a count of 300 yards. So that's the first thing you need to know. It's kind of unusual, but they really do want you to use that so that you get credit for the plying. The second big thing is they break it down, the categories, into those of us that are spinning on electric or spinning on a treadle wheel or spinning on a drop spindle. So that the drop spindle people who, of course are not going to be able to spin a lot of yardage, maybe they will, but have to maybe spend more time doing it than the person who is like me spinning on an electric, aren't put together to compete for the prizes. That's the main thing, is to see how much yardage you can spin. Now what I chose as my own personal goal is to work on the passport breeds, because right now I have 14 different breeds. I have the fiber already for 14 different breeds that I need to spin, and I thought, well, this is a perfect time to do that. Each of the required breed is 4 ounces, so most of what I have is in 4 ounces. And I thought maybe if I picked 5 of the breeds and worked on them during this week, I might be able to get all 5 done. So that's my personal goal. I have spun 1 completely already. It's called Hog Island. I have 1 in progress on the Ara. It is Shetland. And this is the Cotswold. Tomorrow I will be spinning Dorset Horn. I'm going to be on at the same time tomorrow, and I'll be spinning Dorset Horn. And Thursday I'm going to be spinning Navajo Churro. Now I have to complete the 2 bobbins and then ply it and then take a picture, submit the yardage, all by Saturday afternoon. So on the times I'm not live streaming, I'm obviously doing a lot of this other things for the spinning to get the skeins done. And I also thought for those that don't catch it live, will be able to watch it later and might be interested in seeing these different breeds and how to spin them. The Hog Island in particular, that I did on Saturday was really different to spin. And it made a nice bouncy yarn. I like the yarn. Very soft. The Hog Island, I had never heard of it before either. And its origin is Hog Island is off of the state of Virginia. And it has a history of the islanders raised it on the island, and everybody knew everybody, and so they didn't fence, and so they just let the sheep run free, and they would tattoo the ears or notch them or whatever, and that's how they knew. Everybody had their mark. That's how they knew what sheep belonged to who, and they'd round them up once a year and shave them and take care of the herd and everything. But there was a hurricane that came through, and it destroyed everything on the island as far as the population, and so all the people left, but they left the sheep, and they went wild. And the Livestock Conservancy evidently eventually picked them up as a breed that they wanted to save the genetics from. Convinced breeders in Virginia to raise them, and then also I think they got the island and have left the flock run on the island, but I'm not 100% sure about that. Oh, what's up, Ida? How are you? It has been a long time. Hello. We're talking about the Hog Island sheep. Anyway, it's a pretty localized breed. Unless there's some in the UK that I don't know about, but the information I have found seems to make it pretty much that area of the US. The fleece that I got, of course, was just 4 ounces of washed fleece. It's very short stapled. I won't say it's nice to work with, but I will say it's worth the effort because it makes a real soft, bouncy yarn. But it's short stapled, and the fleece had a lot of shortcuts. I was pulling little neps out all the time from when I started spinning the singles all the way through plying to when I was making the skein, you know. I just was pulling the neps out all the time. So I can't say that if you're going to work, it's interesting to experience and work with, but it's not probably a go-to fleece for, and you probably won't find it in many places either. You know, it's just pretty rare. It's on the critical list, so it has the least number being raised according to the Livestock Conservancy. I know, what's about it? It's been a long time. But I'm still here. I'm doing extra this week because I'm doing a team thing for something here in the U.S. called Spin Together. I guess it's worldwide. It's on Ravelry. They have their own website. Spin Together has their own website, and then the teams are on Ravelry. And this fiber is so nice to spin. It's soft, it's silky, it's long stapled. It's really nice. It's where you buy 4 ounces and wish you had bought a lot more. I will apologize. I think I've been saying Rosaroo, and it is Rossaroo. I apologize. At least I think that's what you're going for. Anyway, I wanted to let you know that go to my channel on Twitch and watch that. There's two of them on Hog Island. One, I talk and tell all about it, and then I had camera problems, so I have a second one where I'm mostly spinning. But you'll see, if you watch my hands and watch me spinning that, how I had to spin it. It really was a long draw, which is surprising for the short fibers, but that's what worked best. But I didn't get a nice smooth yarn like this. And it was roving. It was not that it was, something that I home processed. Right. It's more for the pleasure. The pleasure is more for the unique experience. I have been that kind of spinner for many, many years because I podcast and I would talk about my experience with these unusual breeds. This live streaming has just become a recent thing where I'm extending the information onto a visual instead of the podcast. Oh, I've spun warbles. Yes, so that's true. After a while, you can only spin so much of the really pretty stuff and everything, and you kind of get bored. And it's if you are really attracted to the feel of the fiber and the experience of what does this fiber want to do, and how can I spin it the best. that's really your next learning step after you've spun for a while. It is Zwarble is more than a bit rough. It's very much like Black Welsh Mountain in that sense. Mine was a brown color when I spun it, and I have a pretty bulky yarn, so I haven't done anything with it yet. That's exactly right. Don't know. And a lot of times when I'm spinning these rare breeds like that, I don't spin a whole bunch where I feel like I ought to use the yarn for something. Just depends on the source, where I get it from, and how much they have, how much I want to spend. I bought the Zorbles at a fiber fair, though. I knew what I was getting into. I felt it. I knew what I was getting into. But I was intrigued by the name. I did not know there was a sheep that started with the letter Z. That's kind of like being a crossword connoisseur. Oh, I know that word. I like word puzzles too. Uh, I think you mean cat beds, right? Cat beds. I don't know. They're pretty picky about how soft things are. You like cake. I like word puzzles. You like cake. Daddy crude. I love your sense of humor. Yeah. I like cookies better than cake. So there. Well, we got 10 more minutes. Will I make it? Oh, it'll be close. Oh, yeah. Midnight pancakes. Mm-mm-mm. We have a place called Waffle House. That's your midnight run place. If you don't want to cook at home. Of course, they do waffles, not pancakes. If you're picky and don't like waffles, then don't pay to go. But it's good late night eating. Yeah, put enough syrup on it, don't matter, huh? No, back to Rasaru's comment about the using the fiber that isn't soft. What do you do with it? Because here we are spinning this fiber, and every fiber has a use. So the first thing everybody turns to is felting. I'll make something felted, and I won't wear it. I'll just use it like a cat bed or a mat or something like that. Next thing is weaving, so we can hang it on the wall. I am not into any of the ideas like that. And I rack my brain all the time for creative ideas of what to do with these bits and bobs, especially because I have so many small breed studies where the fibers, I didn't have that much. And I finally came up with an idea that I'm very excited about, and it involves making Christmas ornaments, stars, or whatever shape I want to make them, and putting the name of the breed on there and hanging them on my Christmas tree. So that's for the small amounts. And the color of some of the fibers can be really useful. You don't have to dye it. You've got your natural color. For thinking about little stuffed animal kind of thing and that sort of thing. I cannot pronounce that word, but I think everybody knows what I'm talking about. Aragumi? Aragumi? I think that's how you say it. Hey, you're more than welcome to steal it. Let's make those Christmas trees happy. I mean, you can dye that fiber, you know. We can got red and green and yellows, golds. Well, maybe not gold, but a yellow gold. The grays like this can be silver. Silver bells. Yep. And here's another one that not many people use is what they call mug warmers, where you put it around your coffee cup. And, you know, it doesn't have to be soft for that. So that's another one that I'm in the process of working and exploring. And I got my bits and bobs collected and patterns put together and hope to make some Christmas gifts that way. Yep. So, how about taking and making great big fake popcorn kernels out of the white? You know, just a big crocheted circular, I don't know. Have to play with that a little bit. And string those. Ha! That would be fun. I bet if we look on Ravelry, somebody has done it. I think any idea you ever come up with, somebody's already done. And it's on Ravelry. I must have had enough coffee today. The ideas are perking today. My bobbin's unbalanced. Sorry. I know it has a little bit of a rattle to it. That's one reason I really don't like spinning on the Roberta during a live stream, and yet I truly, in order to meet my goal for this week, have to go with whatever is the quickest and easiest for me to spin this fiber. These are not going to make big bobbinfuls of fiber, and that's the other reason. If I use my Ara, it just gets lost on those big bobbins unless I've got at least 8 ounces to spin. So I probably got, well, here, I can weigh it. Let's see how much I did, because I'm rapidly approaching my hour here, and I don't want to go over that. probably need to go ahead and wind this into a ball. But I thought that center pole fiber thing was so cool. It looked like a skein of yarn and it comes right out of the center just like that. It's pretty cool. All the years I've been spinning, I've never seen a mill do it that way. Of course, if I get a tangle in here, it's going to be kind of messy. There it goes. Just got to be very gentle. There we go. Let's see how much I spun. I'm guessing 1.5 ounces. I had 2.1 when I started. Not quite. 2.05. I have 1. So I actually have only spun 1 ounce. Doesn't seem like it. Surprises me. Got that much left. And then, of course, a second bobbin with 2. So that's what I'm going to be doing the rest of the afternoon. And tomorrow I will be back at the same time, and I will be spinning, let's see, Dorset Horn. That's what I'm going to be spinning. It's a white fiber. So join me. I hope you all have a great day today. Thank you for stopping by, everybody. I appreciate talking to you, and I will see you later. Happy spinning.